Good evening, televiewers. Welcome to Prime Hour on my Media Prime. We are very, very sorry for the late start. We've never started the program this late, but we make machines. At times, the machines play fast one on us. So we thank God to have been able to overcome the technical hitch. We are live and are going to be looking at understanding the Tiko-Douala, Tiko-Bakweri villages in Tiko Subdivision. Please. Can we, whoever is there, Eli, can you add Bakweri villages in Tiko Subdivision? We are starting this program with this short break. Welcome back if you're watching Prime Hour on my Media Prime. Once again, I'm going to tender apologies for the very late start for today's edition of the program. We are going to be looking at the Tiko-Bakweri village as well as the Tiko-Douala village in Tiko Subdivision with His Royal Majesty Chief Nganje Ndumbe. Can you fix this? Okay. Chief Nganje Ndumbe, Bibi II, for Tiko-Douala village, Motombolombo. He is the traditional ruler for that village. We're glad to have you, Your Highness. How is Tiko-Douala doing today?
Yeah, we are doing fine, by the grace of God.
Okay.
Yeah.
We also are in the company of Tamnjong Moendo, Ebwea. He is the chairman of the traditional council for the village. We are glad to have you.
Thank you. I'm honored to be on this platform. For a point of correction, the name is Jean Pondo Ebwea.
Jean
Pondo Ebwea.
Ebwea, okay.
I'm the chairman of the Tiko-Douala village.
Yes, okay. We are going to be discussing with two of you. You say Jean Pondo.
Mpondo.
Mpondo.
M-P-O-N-D-O.
Yes, Pondo Ebwea.
E-B-W-E-A.
Yes. Ebwea, who is the chairman of the village. We're going to be discussing with them. I'll start with you, Your Highness, His Royal Majesty Chief Nganje Ndumbe, Bibi II. Many persons actually are very curious and surprised to hear today that there is a village called Tiko-Douala village within the Tiko subdivision.
Yeah, we know people will surprise, many people will get surprised because they don't know about the history of the Tiko-Douala village. Tiko-Douala village is a village who found the village by 1883.
Okay.
We are the Douala people in Tiko. We are not the Douala from Littora to Tiko. Our parents and grandparents came to Tiko just the same like any other Cameroonian. We migrate from Zaire. From Ethiopia to Zaire. Zaire, we are coastal people. My grandfather, Baby Papa, they followed the water. So they found themselves in the island in Tiko at 1883. So the German came and meet them there in the island. Then they pursued and showed them the land. So they look at the land is fertile. So they make their farm land there So at that time, when you hear of Tiko, Tiko is Tikwa.
Okay.
The meaning of Tiko is Tikwa. They say, La Tikwa one woman. That's who we change this place. So the Bakweri, they came and met the Douala people.
Okay, they met your ancestors there?
Yeah, they met my ancestors there. So where they are drying their fish, so they saw smoke because they are hunter men, the Bakwerians. So they came down now and met them. So they start do something, they trade by barter. They have changing, you give me meat, I give you fish. So that's the history of the Douala people in Tiko. All the coastal area is Douala. Some people that are doubting say, where is Douala in Tiko? When you go to Limbe, the Sokolo is, they call it the Sokoloko.
Okay.
Yeah. When you go to Edina is Douala, the Bangi one woman. We refuse this place. You get Njangasa, who is Misa. Douala call it, Douala man call Njanga Misa. You have the Bakasi will receive you people from here. So all those areas, Douala people. When you go to Jangasa, you have Daido, Aqua, Bonabeji, Bonamukenge, all those quarters. They are in Eziabato. Eziabato means we'll leave these people here. We'll continue.
Can I add to?
Okay, what the chief is saying?
Can I add to what our chief, His Royal Highness?
He's saying, because I myself, the day I heard about Tiko-Douala village in Tiko Subdivision, I was surprised.
Okay, I'm going to lay emphasis on two things. He has made a brilliant expose on the history of the Tiko-Douala village. As he rightly said, our history is dated as far back as 1883. But we actually settled as a village with a chief by 1884.
Okay.
Now, by 1887, we were at a certain island, which is known as the Keka Island. By 1911, we are now talking about the colonial era. By 1911, the Germans understood that the land of Tiko is fertile, and they wanted to exploit it for plantation or for agricultural purpose. So they made an appeal to the Doualas who were inhabiting the Keka Island. So by 1887, they were there. By 1911, this is just a historical resume of what the chief said. By 1911, the German Land Commission sat and they deliberated on land issues in Tiko. So they said they're going to create a land reserve in Tiko, which was 300 hectares. And the land was then divided. Now, at that time, the census which was carried proved that out of the 52 families who were in Tiko at the time, 3 were Bakweri families and the rest were Douala families.
Okay.
So by 1912, the land was actually divided to those families who were present. I'm talking about our ancestors. So each family benefited of a parcel of land which measured about 6 hectares. And you should know that the actual location of the Tiko-Douala village is the area in Tiko which is known as Motombolombo.
Okay.
So when our ancestors came from the water side, they first of all stopped at the islands, and from there they migrated into the mainland. So they were the ones who opened and developed all the beaches. Now, I know that there is a lot of confusion by virtue of the appellation Tiko-Douala. So most people have the tendency of believing that the Tiko-Doualas are not indigenous people of Tiko.
Yeah, because I was going to ask whether you guys are Francophones or Anglophones.
That is a question which is not supposed to be asked. I'm speaking in English. I was born in Tiko. I grew up there. I schooled there. So I am an Anglophone. Now, let's clear this fact of the Douala appellation. Now, if you look at the the West Cameroon Gazette of 1963, you are going to find at a certain column, there's a column of chiefs and a column of villages. Now, when we take the Tiko court area, now you should know that Tiko is divided into court areas. There is a Mongo court area, there is a Mutengene court area, or the Ebwea court area, and now there is a Tiko court area. Now, in the Tiko court area, we have the Likumba village, we have the Tiko-Douala village, and the Tiko-Bakweri village. Now, from the Gazette, you will discover that in the same way the village is being named as Tiko-Douala, it is also named, as concerns the Bakweris, as Tiko-Bakweri. So at that level, we are at the same, we are on the same standing point. Now, because of some selfish reasons, some people want to take the appellation Douala and shift us or cheat us of our inheritance, cheat us of our ancestral fatherland. Now, the name Douala can have several meanings. Let's be clear. Douala is the name of a place which has a geographical boundary. It is the economic capital of Cameroon, the headquarters of the littoral region. Now, the Tiko-Douala village we are talking about is not in the littoral, neither is it in Douala. It is in the southwest region, in the Fako division, in the Tiko Subdivision. Now, another connotation of the name Douala is a language. Douala is a language which is being spoken by most of the coastal villages. And Douala is also a culture, which is the culture of the Sawa people. Now, when you look at the appellation which was given by the time, 1963,
the Germans,
you are going to know at this point.
Tiko-Douala was given by
no, at this point in time, 1963, we are no longer in the colonial era.
Yeah, but I want to get who gave the name Tiko-Douala and Tiko-Bakweri.
Tiko-Douala is the German.
Is the Germans who gave that name?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, when the Gazette was being published, we are no longer in colonial era now. We are now 1963. For those who know history, we know that we are already at the independence era. Now,
we're already in the federation.
We are already in the federation. Now, you are going to understand that the Douala there stands for a people, not a geographical location.
A people who speak a particular language.
A people who have a certain culture and tradition. So the actual Tiko-Douala, apart from the linguistic, cultural, and traditional aspects, has no ties with the actual Douala. Okay. So it is a point that I want to make clear on this platform, and I want everybody to understand.
Okay, because I had, not only me, some persons thought that it was some people who are coming from Douala to create a village in Tiko Subdivision. So you people are Tiko children?
Yeah.
I think I'll still intervene at this point in time. Most of the times, people don't use the right terminology. When talking about the Tiko-Douala village, the word created always comes into play. It is not the right word. It is creating means it doesn't exist. It is manufactured, if I'm correct. But it is a village that has been in existence for over 136 years. So at this point in time, we are not talking about creation, because we have been existing and are still existing as a village.
Yes, Chairman, you have been existing for so long. The question many persons will want to ask is, why the noise now about the Tiko-Douala village? Never heard of that name. Where have you guys been?
I'm going to try a little explanation, and the chief is going to give a conclusion to that fact. It's not news. I'm going to reiterate on the fact that the entire nation, Cameroon, we are suffering from lack of knowledge insofar as historical facts are concerned. Now, there is the archives, which you can go there as a researcher to find out certain things for those who are curious, who want to know. But the tendency is that people sit down and they capitalize on erroneous information, and then they spread it, and it becomes the order of the day. Now, it is unfortunate that, going back to your question, it is unfortunate that the Tiko-Douala village suffered a little period of interruption. Now, let me be very specific about that. When his father, the chief Ndumbe of blessed memory, died in 1979, our ancestors' stool was vacant then. Then for other reasons, with the main reason, age reason, at that time he was, still a child, not matured enough to handle such a responsibility. So it is this period of interruption that some other people used, and another chiefdom operated, and it operated as though it is the only chiefdom in existence. So this is one of the main reasons why the chief, as our head, because he's the captain, traditionally he's the captain, he's the commander, he's our ruler, he is our guide, thought it wise to assemble the families, assemble the notables, assemble the kingmakers, and say, now the time has come. Our ancestors have spoken. It is time for us to revamp the Tiko-Douala village. So, understanding the present situation of things in the Southwest region, people for self-interest, stood to oppose the revamping of this village. But history has always taken its course. Everything being equal, the village has been duly homologated, and we are proceeding with the revamping process. It's a very long process.
Yes, but some people actually will not understand how Tiko-Douala is operating and Tiko-Bakweri. Can we understand how they operated in the past?
Yeah, on the past, the Tiko-Bakweri and the Tiko-Douala, my late father, late Chief Ndumbe, and late Tamak, the chief of Tiko-Bakweri, they are two good friends, without any problem.
Okay.
They have but one council. They sit in one hall, deliberate about the matters of Tiko. So there is no problem for their time. Even when I'm growing up, I saw my father, I saw Ebwea Tamak, they are always moving together. When there is anything to do in Tiko, they do. Then at that time again, my father was the first local government chairman in Tiko. So they work hand in hand to make Tiko be what is it today. Before he died at 79. So there is no, Tiko was moving well when my father was alive.
Now, when your ancestors came to Tiko, the Bakweris, you said they met you there?
They met the Douala people in Tiko.
They met the Douala people in Tiko, and they were living harmoniously?
Yeah, without any problem.
Yes, but how, because he says there is a demarcation. The Tiko-Douala is somewhere down and the Tiko-Bakweri is up. How do we understand this?
Yeah, when you follow the German calendar, as they do the sharing, as the chairman explained, we have our limit. The German, they say the Douala people are from water. So they give from the sea, the creek, to Benue Street, where they call it now, Oxford Street. That was our limit there. Then the Bakweri, we continue up there to roundabout. So that is the map.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have our section because we are water people. We came from water. We are fishermen. So that's the way the German looked at the thing at that time, and the English. They say, okay, you these people, you will take it from year to year.
I'm just going to add a little from what His Royal Majesty has just said.
Yeah.
Now, if you consider history very keenly, as per historians, Tiko was being founded by the Doualas and the Bakweris. And history holds that the Doualas from the water side, from the seaside to the creeks, and the Bakwerians from the Ebwea villages coming downwards. And you are going to see their occupation from the actual Ebwea coming down towards my 17, my 16, my 15. These are all Bakweri settlements coming to Mutengene itself. Now, when you get to Mutengene itself, you are going to see a grouping of villages. Now, most of these villages are annexed villages, which also exist in the Ebwea subdivision as well. Now, coming downwards, the logic that holds is simple. Now, talking about our particular geographical space that we occupy, it is but natural that us, the water people, our livelihood is from water. We are navigators, we are fishermen, we are traders, and the water has always been our source of livelihood. So the water side is our natural habitat as fishermen, while the Bakwerians are natural hunters. So it goes to explain that the area that is known as Motombolombo, which is the coastal area of the Tiko town, is the village of the Tiko-Douala people. So that is it.
Do you have a relation with the actual Douala people where we are today? Did you all migrate at the same time and then others settled here while you guys moved down?
No.
There's no relation?
No relation.
But you people speak the same language?
We have the same language.
How?
It's just like not only us. When you go to Northwest, you have the Bali. You have about 7 Bali. When you go to North, in Marwa, you see a place that they call Bali. The people have the same language as the Bali in Northwest, in Marwa. So that is God. It's God. It's nature from God.
So no, sir. As concerns as concerns language which is being spoken.
You go down to Bakassi, they speak the same language, no?
As concerns the language which is being spoken, one thing we should all know is that we have the same ancestry. Now, all the coastal people are coming from a particular ancestor, but at certain points in time in history, most of these villages became autonomous, as a certain person will take his family, maybe the wife and children, and they move. They migrate and they find a place and they settle there. So that is how all the villages from Douala getting into the Tiko subdivision, the Mondonis, the Miseleles, the Modikas, and all the like, they originated in same wise as the Tiko-Douala village. So you are going to agree with me that the Douala language is a language which is widely spoken along the coastline of Cameroon. And geographical demarcations, when the nation unfortunately was being mapped, didn't take into consideration a lot of things like the linguistic and the cultural and the traditional aspects. That is why you are going to see, for example, you have the Bakosis at one side of the country in the southwest region. You have Bakosis also in Littoral. You have the Mbos in the southwest region. You have the Mbos also in the Littoral region. Both of them speak the same language, but they are found in two geographical entities. You have the Batangas in the southwest region. You have the Batangas in Kribi, which is now the south region. So those are aspects which maybe when the mapping was being done, those who did it did not take into serious consideration all these aspects. And we are living the realities today. To some, it is favorable. To some, it is causing some prejudice. But nature is nature. We accept it as it is.
What is the relationship that you guys have with, I'm talking about Tiko-Douala and Tiko-Bakweri today?
Today, I just believe that by the grace of God, we are fine. The Tiko-Douala and the Tiko-Bakweri, we are fine. That's why you see we are trying to do something which is coming in days ahead to join us together. Yeah, to live in together. Because our great-grandparents, they eat with the Bakweri in one dish. The Bakweri will prepare the akwakoko, our mother will prepare the Moendo and Noel. They'll put the share together. The chief of Bakweri will come to the chief of Douala. They will eat. The next week they'll go to the chief of Bakweri. They'll eat just like that. We are fine. Yeah. But it's just that now we have a bit misunderstanding because the Tiko-Bakweri, the one who lost the stool of the Tiko-Douala. So we, the Douala, we don't have problem with them. Not the Bakweri all. There are few elements in Bakweri where they want to bring some misunderstanding with the Douala people. They just believe that the God of Israel will take total control of everything because we believe in God.
I also want to add to what His Royal Highness has said. Insofar as living together is concerned, I can see that the Tiko-Doualas and the Tiko-Bakweris are doing fine. Insofar as coexisting is concerned, the Tiko-Doualas and the Tiko-Bakweris are doing fine. Now, as the chief rightly said, we are having a little misunderstanding on certain issues which are purely of an administrative nature. And the administration is doing its best to resolve it. And we have gone far in sorting out things, and we are at a level that a certain understanding is coming into the limelight. Because at this point in time, you should understand that our nation, Cameroon, is undergoing a certain socio-political crisis. And part of the origin of this socio-political crisis is that some people think that they are being marginalized. Now, we are living in a context that because of an interruption in the traditional operation of the Tiko-Douala people and the Tiko-Douala village. Now, some people think that we do not exist. We don't suppose, we don't have any space, we don't have any place in Tiko. Whereas that is it is a statement which is very grotesque. And taking into consideration what the nation is going through now, it is not a good thing to see. The administration of Cameroon has the power to create villages and to revamp villages. So we are in a purely administrative context, and the village Tiko-Douala has been duly homologated. I'm going to say it again. I mean, duly homologated. And administratively, the village supposed to function as a village with every right and everything you can think of.
Yeah, but you guys have been living in Tiko for long, even without the chief. When did you take over the stool?
Yeah, I took over the stool 2020.
Okay.
Yeah, but 79, my father died at 79. We have a leader.
Okay.
Yeah, who was controlling everything. Baby Ngando Kaima. He died at 2001.
Okay.
Yeah. He's there, I'm there. You want to do anything, you call me, say, come here, you are the chief. I want to do like this, I want to do like this. We'll do it. So we are working together, even after he died, we are still working. I just say, okay, 2017, I called my junior brother and my sister. I said, no, this is the time God has told me to stand up and revamp this village. So I went to my father's archives. I look who are notable in those days. So I look at the notable and kingmakers. I start to sort this family. I call them together. I say, okay, this is what I want us to do. God has told me to revamp this village. It's not by my power, by the power of God. So we started it, that 2017. I look, some of the family, they are no more there again. So I copped on the people. And we joined, put the notable and the kingmaker. We have one language, and that one language is the Bible. put the Bible in front of us and ask God to take us go ahead. So a long struggle. We have a long argument from 2017.
Yeah, but
finally, as the Gazette is there, they take it all right to Yaoundé. The minister look at the thing, they say no, it's an old village. So they have to revamp the village. They are not creating the village. They are revamping the village. So give an order to the SDO to make a consultative talk of the Tiko-Douala village. So after that, 2011, September 2020, a consultative talk will hold. 12:30.
okay.
Yeah. So by the grace of God, we wait and wait. November 20th, they called me from the SDO's office. I went and take my prefectorial order. So we're showing that the village is back alive. So we are still continuing with the revamp process. We are not yet finished. We have a lot of things to do.
Okay, you have a lot of things to do. Now, in the absence of his father, who was the chief who died 1979,
yeah.
You people have no other village. Your parents came there 1883. Yeah. That is where you were born, and you have... Now, after his father, did you people feel like marginalized in Tiko, or you felt that you were at home?
In the honest reality, we felt a little marginalized.
Yeah. Okay.
If we want to be sincere.
Sincere.
Yeah. We felt a little marginalized because we were in a situation where it is like we are struggling for acceptance, whereas acceptance is by right. It is, you are either there or you are not. Look at the development of Tiko. The inhabitants, the members of the Tiko-Douala village have always been left out. We form a strong part of the Tiko elite. But when you look at it, you are going to see that whether it is political, whether it is social, or otherwise, the population of Tiko-Douala village has always been set aside. So honestly speaking, we have this, we felt a little marginalized, a little.
Okay. Hello, good evening to all, please. My name's Quinty from Ndumbe. Okay. There is nothing like Tiko-Douala village from the former British Southern Cameroon's map. All okay, politics. Yeah, but this is something that we need to clarify. Many persons really think that it is a creation, because when I first heard of it, I thought that it was a village that was coming up, and that a parcel of land was going to be created at the level of the bananas to be given to some people who are coming from Douala. But the Gazette, can we see?
Yeah, you have the...
No.
Okay. Yeah, for those who think that it is a creation, I think that in another edition we should have the Gazette. Let them see.
I just forget inside the car.
Okay. Let them see that this is a village that has been existing for a very, very long time. Eh?
Yeah, and I'm seeing the Gazette as it's passing behind the screen there.
Can the technicians get to the Gazette? Is it possible? It's on the background. Can the technicians get there and?
Okay, let me see if I.
Yeah,
that's the Gazette.
Yeah, that's the
Gazette.
Okay.
That's a cover page.
That's a
cover page.
Yeah.
Okay.
They open it.
It has
Okay, but so if you open the Gazette,
open it, you see the.
You see Tiko.
There is another page which has passed by. It's there. I don't know if the technicians can get to it. You are going to see what is written there. So you are going to see a column that carries. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
That is a West Cameroon Gazette of 1963.
Yes.
If you read it, if you read the heading, you know the characters there are very small. Now, if you read the heading, you are going to understand it all, and you see that it carries all the villages and the chiefs. So if you go through it, you are going to see that when we talk about the Tiko-Douala village, we are not talking about a creation. We are talking about a revamping. So the issue of settling some people coming from Douala in the bananas, I don't know where that information is coming from. I can speak for myself. Let me speak for myself.
Okay.
I'm Jean Ebwea. I have landed property in Motombolombo. My parents are in Motombolombo, and Motombolombo is our home. We are not coming from Douala, and the same goes for all of us. We are not tenants. We are landlords, and that is our home. Now, talking about this issue that you're trying to insinuate, I think I've heard it before. The issue of land surrender, it's a policy that I believe that the government adopted to promote development, and every village has a right to demand for land to be surrendered for developmental purposes. So as a village, the Tiko-Douala village, we have a right to go towards the administration and solicit a land surrender for extension of our village or for other reasons. So I don't see why this issue of surrender becomes very, very peculiar when it comes to Tiko-Douala village.
Okay.
Most of the villages in the Fako division have benefited from land surrender.
So Tiko
now, I
must
must emphasize on this issue, because I've heard some people say, and they think that our motivation is a land motivation. So thinking that if land is being surrendered onto us somewhere in the bananas is going to settle our case. I don't think that is the fact.
Okay. Tiko-Douala village is in Tiko.
Tiko-Douala village is in Tiko. We have a village which has a specific geographical location.
From the coastline up to...
From the coastline up to the Hofort Street, the Benue Road. Up to the Benue Road.
The former Ofo field. You don't know former Ofo field.
Yes.
Tiko, yeah.
So
it is not
the Gazette is there if you need it.
The Gazette speaks for itself.
Okay.
It is not a creation. It is an existing village, and we are following up a due process of revamping the village.
Now, I had a talk yesterday with the divisional officer for Tiko, who told me that there was a meeting in his office. I'm sure that was the day before yesterday.
Yeah, Monday.
Yes. Was there a problem? What was fixed in the meeting?
I think
I'll explain that.
I think the chairman will explain that better, because he's the man.
Anyway, from our understanding, you know, at this point in time, as a village, we were preparing the Musangu Festival.
Okay.
The Musangu Festival is an annual festival of the Tiko-Douala people. So we were in the build-up, in the preparative stage. So as the law is, we had to tender an application formally to the DIO for authorization for public manifestation. Because, I mean, the Musangu Festival is not an indoor festival, it's an outdoor festival. So we can't just go out there and do whatever without due authorization. So we deposited an application at the level of the DIO's office, and then we had several meetings with the DIO, working on the preparation, obtain authorization from the other heads of services or the other people occupying some of the sites we are going to use during this festival. So it came to our knowledge that there was an opposition concerning the holding of the Musangu Festival. And it was the second-class chief of Tiko who placed an opposition to the holding of this festival. So in essence, the meeting that was held, the administrative officer for Tiko, the DIO, was there with his État-Major, with the security personnel, to sort out this issue in the most peaceful and diplomatic manner. So the issue we were discussing about principally was concerning the holding of this festival, even though within the meeting some other issues came up, but I think these are issues that will be settled some other time. But in the meantime, our focus is the Musangu Festival.
Right.
And the second-class chief of Tiko raised he raised some facts. He raised some facts And amongst the facts which were raised was the non-existence of the Tiko-Douala village. And the duo, in his ability, in his capacity, had to explain to him that the village is existing. The village has been duly homologated. The village is a village which is gazetted. And before he came to Tiko as an administrative officer, he met all these things on ground.
Exactly, and, what he told me.
And some other aspects too were discussed.
Unfortunately, we started the program late, so we will not be able to go to discuss all what was planned. I'm sure a different edition is going to be planned to discuss better. But let's talk a little bit about the Musango festival. When is it coming up?
Yeah, the Musango festival. The Musango festival is going to hold next month.
Okay.
It's going to take place from the 7th to the 11th of December, and it is a festival that we want to give it the grandeur that it deserves, and we want to use it as the name itself indicates. Musango. Musango means peace. I mean, sir, you are going to accept with me that at this point in time, peace is one of the things that we need at this point in time. So we have adopted some activities that we are going to use to portray our culture and our tradition, and at the same time preach this culture of peace, of living together, of national integration, and all these things. So in the package, we are going to have lots of things. We are going to start this festival, if I can run very fast, it seems as if time is not on our side. We are going to begin this festival with a caravan. So we are going to make an artistic procession with the members of the village and sympathizers and dance groups and all this. It will be like a jamboree, and we are going to walk within the peripheries of the Tiko-Douala village. And we have other activities in the program. We will have a small football tournament, and this one is different from the other football tournaments that we watch every day. It's going to be an inter-tribe tournament. So we want to prove to the public that we coexist peacefully with other communities, with other tribes. And in this tournament, I believe our brothers, the Bakweris, will take part in the football tournament. We ought to prove to the public that we are peace-loving people, and that we can use these avenues to preach peace.
Okay. Somebody who is joining us late is Leo. Where geographically is Tiko-Douala village situated? I'm sure many persons joined the program late.
Yeah.
Geographically, where?
Okay. Let me give let me just explain our geographical position. If the person is somebody who is very sweet with Tiko, it will be simple. Okay, if I take the cardinal points, it will not be easy for those who are watching us to understand. If I should take north, south, east, and west, it will be a little complicated. So I'm going to do a description so that everybody has a comprehension. So if you take the north, from the north, our neighbors are the Tiko-Bakweris. Now, if you know the Hofort field, there is a road that passes beside the Hofort field. If you take that road and you go straight, continue, just keep going straight, you are going to get to Bwenga village. There is a river, there's a Benue river that separates the Tiko-Doualas and the people of Bwenga. So they are our neighbors at that side. If you follow that same road to the other side, going towards the CDC factory, passing towards the way bridge, there is a railroad. That is what the Germans use as a demarcation. If you follow the railroad going towards that direction, it's going to lead you straight to another village, which is called Ebonji village. So they are our neighbors at that side. So when you follow that road, you are going to pass two bridges. There is one at Small Ikange, there's another one at Big Ikange. So the bridge at Big Ikange is our demarcating factor with our brothers of Ebonji. Now, from that road, coming downwards up to the creeks and into the sea, taking into consideration a grouping of fishing ports, that is what forms the geographical space of Tiko-Douala village.
Yes, and then to add there, behind there, the sea, we have our borderline with Manuka. That's Douala Cesium. Yeah. Or from there, we have our borderline with Manuka.
Okay.
Yeah. So when you take from Tiko with boat, about 40 minutes, then you use the vehicle from Tiko to Douala, the man will go like this, will first enter Douala before you.
Yeah, but the people of Buinga village up that way, and then Ebonji this way, what are they saying today with respect to what is happening? They say you people have been living together with them?
Yeah.
Of course. Of course.
There is one thing that I want to make you to understand. When you see the Ebonji, my mother was the princess of Ebonji.
Okay.
Yeah. My late mother was a princess of Ebonji. So we always lived together. That's why my father left from Tiko, go and pick his wife, the princess of Ebonji village.
Okay.
So we don't have any problem. We are fine.
Hello to everyone in the studio. People of Tiko-Douala village. Are they Bakwerians or Ekambi is writing from Douala here? They are Doualas.
Yes, we are Doualas. Yeah.
We are Doualas.
But they are Doualas, not Doualas from Douala.
Not Doualas from
they
Douala.
Came, like Doualas who came here, they went that way.
Yeah.
We are Doualas in Tiko.
In Tiko. Just like Moyoka. Moyoka is Balong. There are Balong in Moyoka, there are Balong people in Moyoka, they are not Balong in Manga. Just when you go to Kumba, you see the Abo. The Bafo, they are Abo people, but they are Kumba people in Southwest. They are not the Abo in Littoral.
So if I want to understand, Mr. Ekambi, we are Douala people. We speak the same language. We have the same
culture
and tradition. But we are of the Southwest region. We are from the Tiko Subdivision. We are from the Fako division.
Okay. Why does it carry the name Tiko-Douala? Can they give us explanations? All these explanations were given at the beginning, but these are persons who are coming.
Okay.
Yes. No.
Okay. I'm just going to try to give an explanation. You should understand that when it comes to appellations, sometimes the original name of a place is not very much promoted, because with our colonial masters, most of our indigenous names were difficult for them to pronounce. So by the end of the day, they use something which will be simple for them to handle. But initially, like I'm going to give you some examples. If you take a place like Maifo in Limbe, the village is known as Bonatikombo. But if you take an average Limbe person and you say you are going to Bonatikombo, he will not know where he's going to. But if you say Maifo, he will take you there straight. Likewise, there are some people, when you talk about Motombolombo, there will be, you say Tiko-Douala, there will be a kind of lost. But you say Motombolombo, say, okay, I know that place. I've been there before.
The name is Motombolombo.
Motombolombo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So almost everybody knows Motombolombo.
Yeah. Yeah, Motombolombo is the heart of Tiko. Yeah. You're invited any day you feel as passing through Tiko, you come there, we are going to give you a treat. You enjoy. So you enjoy the treats.
Those who are asking about Tiko-Douala village, if you know Motombolombo, that is the
village. Get to Motombolombo and you're there.
Okay. So it is the Germans who gave the name Tiko-Douala, and then there is Tiko-Bakweri to differentiate between you guys who came from
that is the demarcating line. So these are the Bakwerians in Tiko and these are the Doualas in Tiko.
Okay.
So it is just I think the etymology should not be posing a problem. It is just for differentiation.
Okay. Okay. Good evening, sir. Do the two Tikos have the same language with the rest of the Southwest? If not, how many languages does the Southwest have? Tiko-Douala speaks Douala, Tiko-Bakweri speaks Bakweri.
Yeah.
But in the Southwest region, we have the Balongs, we have the Bafors, we have the Barondos, we have
to cut it short, not so. This issue of language should not be overemphasized. You know, every indigenous clan has a particular language, but when you take a context like the Southwest, we have a language which is common to everybody. There is nobody in the Southwest region who doesn't speak Pidgin. So Pidgin is our normal language of communication.
Okay, Mr. Kum Julius, yes, the notable of my village out there says the name Tiko is coming from where for both villages?
The name Tiko is coming from Douala.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Tiko, the name Tiko has it has several sources. as concerns the origin of the name Tiko. Now, one of the historical sources of Tiko is Keka. So, historically, when somebody talks of Keka, the person talks of Tiko. So, I mean, for those who are just coming now, when we started the program, I think I gave an explanation that our ancestors by 1887 were living in an island known as the Keka Island. And Keka Island. Okay. And that is a name that was adopted by the Germans and the Doualas as one of the original names of Tiko today. And as a chief also explained, the common appellation, the Tiko, comes from Tikoa. As I mean, for those who are just coming now, I think chief might repeat the Tikoa so that they get
the Tikoa,
the understanding.
The name Tiko come from Tikwa, not like Tikwa one woman. We will change this place. So that's the meaning of
now let me explain the issue of change. Not so. You know, most people they take Motombolombo in its present context, not understanding that at the time that our ancestors came to Motombolombo, it was not as civilized as we see now. The majority of Motombolombo was mangrove. So if you are a person that understands Tiko very well, you are going to know that at that part of the town, up to today, people are still seriously in the business of land reclamation. So the whole of that area, many years ago, was pure swamps. So our ancestors opened beaches. I'm just explaining how the development of Motombolombo started from inception to what we are enjoying today. Our ancestors opened beaches, and now these beaches were like hubs for development. They attracted other people to come there. It stood like places for business and for exchange. For example, we have beaches like Douala Ekoto Beach, like Manga Kala Beach, like Martin Dikanjo Beach, Dibola Beach, Kabe Beach.
We are past the time. Okay, I just wish to ask if this Tiko-Douala village is practicing the culture and values of the Mungo people or the Bakweris. It's Mungo now?
Yeah, yes, our culture and tradition is closely tied to that of the Mongos.
Okay, the Mongos. We are out of time. We have to end here. We hope that we're going to have another time. You guys came. Technically, it was not possible to start the program on time. We hope that we have another time to have you guys to explain better. We are going to be listening to an interview that was conducted by Gladys Bomotongina with some faithfuls of the Baha'i faith to tell us about a celebration, one of their celebrations that is also coming up. We say thank you, Your Highness, for coming all the way from Tiko to be part of this program.
Yeah, thank you very much. I just want to thank even our president of Tiko Chief Conference, Chief Ndike. Just last Saturday, the Tiko Chief Conference gave him a new title, our Royal Papa. So I just want to thank him and the Tiko Chief Conference for making Tiko-Douala to be what Tiko-Douala is today for the palm of the village. And I thank my Prophet Kennedy, who always sat beside the chiefdom of Tiko-Douala village to pray. Our chiefdom is godly chiefdom. When you look at our document, you will see Psalms 105, verse 10 to 22. When you read it, you know that it's God who created this kingdom. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman, for coming all the way from Tiko too.
Thank you. The pleasure is mine, sir.
Okay. We want to thank you all to time off to watch this edition of the program. Stay tuned. Bye-bye.
Okay. Ciao.
À vous, Madame Christine Tchameni, et bienvenue sur le plateau de Prime Art.
Bonjour, Madame. Merci.
Okay. Bonjour à vous, Monsieur Isaac Lee, and welcome to Prime Art.
Thank you very much, and good evening.
Okay. I will stay with you, Mr. Isaac Lee. We want to know who is Abdul Baha first.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Actually, as members of the Baha'i community, we come to know and love Abdul-Baha so much. And we will be very grateful to rapidly share with you a few about Abdul-Baha. First, Abdul-Baha was born in 1844 in Persia, and he was born to the family of Baha'u'llah. Baha'u'llah is actually the manifestation of God for today. And Abdul-Baha grew up, you know, to occupy a wonderful position in the Baha'i community. He became known as Abdul-Baha, which was not actually the name given to him at birth. At birth, he was known as Abbas Effendi. And the title he took for himself as Abdul-Baha means the servant of Baha. In fact, he had so many titles, but among all, he selected this one, Abdul-Baha, which means the servant. Yeah, the servant of Baha.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much, sir. We are coming to you, Madame Christiane Chameni. C'est quoi la foi Baha'i?
La foi Baha'i est la religion de Baha'u'llah, qui est le fondateur de cette foi Baha'i et qui est né depuis 1844 avec l'avènement de son précurseur qui est le Bab qui veut dire la porte par laquelle le promis de Dieu de tous les temps devait arriver à l'humanité. Parce que Dieu avait promis qu'il devrait se manifester, qu'il devrait envoyer quelqu'un pour parler de lui, pour unir le peuple de la terre en une famille universelle. Et celui-là, c'était Baha'u'llah. Et le Bab avait pour mission de préparer l'humanité pour la venue de Baha'u'llah. Baha'u'llah veut dire la gloire de Dieu. Et c'est lui qui est venu pour enseigner l'unité de l'humanité et la paix dans le monde.
Ok, merci beaucoup. Ok, vous avez parlé du centenaire. En fait, ce qui vous amène ici, c'est le centenaire de la commémoration de la foi Baha'al, du Baha'al et tout ça. C'est quoi en fait, en quoi est-ce que consiste ce centenaire?
This centenary is actually 100th anniversary of the ascension of Abdul-Baha. It means Abdul-Baha passed away, you know, in 1921. And this year, 2021, marks 100 years that he...
de Baha'u'llah, et il a œuvré pour la défense, pour la paix et dans le monde entier. Il a enseigné l'unité et la paix dans le monde entier. Toute sa vie, jusqu'à son départ sur terre, il a œuvré pour les enseignements de son père Baha'u'llah. Et aujourd'hui, on est en train de célébrer cette victoire. On est en train de célébrer les œuvres d'Abdul-Baha qui ont illuminé la terre jusqu'à aujourd'hui. Et nous sommes en train aujourd'hui de faire connaître à l'humanité que Abdul-Baha était un personnage unique qui avait eu des différents titres donnés par son père, pas parce qu'il était le fils de Baha'u'llah, mais parce que c'était la volonté de Dieu. Et lui, il était un mystère de Dieu. Il avait des connaissances extraordinaires. Et il avait la personnification des enseignements de Baha'u'llah. C'est-à-dire qu'à travers la vie d'Abdul-Baha, on pouvait remarquer, on pouvait voir que les enseignements apportés par Baha'u'llah n'étaient pas seulement des mots, mais c'était possible de vivre. On pouvait les voir dans la vie d'un individu qui s'appelle Abdul-Baha. C'était un panneau qui indique le centre Baha'i. C'est juste après Mobile Guinness, avant de traverser pour arriver à Santa Lucia, il y a un carrefour et le panneau est juste là et qui indique la direction du centre régional Baha'i.
Ok, est-ce qu'il n'y a pas un contact, je ne sais pas, pour faciliter un peu la démarche aux personnes qui pourraient être intéressées à vouloir participer à ce programme, à cette commémoration?
Tout à fait. Je peux vous donner le contact.
Allez-y.
Le 677 60 06 69. À travers ce contact, on peut facilement accéder au centre Baha'i et avoir des informations en ce qui concerne les activités Baha'i.
Okay, and in Yaoundé, where will it take place? Because it's everywhere, yeah.
Yes. Actually, it started yesterday in Yaoundé with a press conference, and it was attended by over 50 journalists from more than 30 media houses. We have Baha'i centers in Bankolo and in other places, Yaoundé 1, Yaoundé 2, we have Baha'i centers there, but the biggest center is found in Bankolo, Carrefour Bankolo, going to Carrier. As you leave Bankolo Carrefour on the way to Carrier, you find a very big signboard and a 3-story building on the left, just around Express Union, a little after Express Union.
So can somebody have a contact maybe for Yaoundé so that he can contact easily, he can arrive there easily and call somebody?
Yes, and also we have this website,
okay,
which is a very common forum now since everybody is going through internet. So you have www.baha'i/cm.org as the website for the Baha'i community of Cameroon. So it's easy for anyone to trace Baha'i activities and Baha'i centers, get information rapidly through this website.
Okay.
Yes, this is a very easy method because you have Douala, you have Yaoundé, Limbe, Bamenda, all over Cameroon. Yes, that the Baha'i communities are, even in villages, you know, Baha'i communities are there. And so once you go to this website, you will be able to get even telephone numbers, even various locations that are very close to you.
Ok, thank you very much.
Right.
Je ne sais pas si vous avez peut-être un mot à donner aux téléspectateurs pour les encourager à faire partie de votre foi. On ne sait jamais.
Oui, merci. Nous avons beaucoup à donner, beaucoup à dire, parce que nous savons qu'il n'y a qu'un seul Dieu et toutes les religions sont venues de Dieu et nous formons une seule race, la race humaine, et nous travaillons pour la paix et l'unité dans le monde. Nous avons aussi des cadres où on apprend, où on vient ensemble étudier et explorer des thèmes comme sur l'âme. Qu'est-ce que c'est que l'âme? Parce que chaque être humain est doté d'une âme. Et c'est un sujet dont beaucoup de gens ne parlent pas souvent beaucoup. Pourtant, ça devrait nous intéresser. Parce que Abdul Baha dit que l'être humain est constitué de double nature. Une nature spirituelle et une nature physique. Et nous devons comprendre qu'est-ce que c'est que notre nature spirituelle aussi bien que notre nature physique. Bon, pour la nature physique, on les apprend dans les sciences et tout, mais nous avons notre nature spirituelle qu'il faut aussi comprendre. Et nous apprenons aussi des choses comme la prière. Qu'est-ce que c'est que la prière? Pourquoi nous prions? Et comment prier? Abdul Baha dit la prière est une conversation avec Dieu. Et ça, ce sont des sujets qu'on discute ensemble dans des cadres d'études qu'on appelle l'Institut de formation. Et on apprend à se connaître. L'être humain apprend à connaître qui il est, d'où il vient et pourquoi nous sommes sur cette terre. Nous avons des programmes comme l'étude pour la spiritualisation des pré-jeunes. Alors, ils comprennent facilement qui ils sont et qu'est-ce qu'ils peuvent faire pour contribuer au bien-être, à l'amélioration de la société. Et ça, c'est un appel que nous invitons. Nous avons tellement de choses à partager et vraiment, nous serons très heureux de recevoir des amis, même par curiosité.
Okay. Merci beaucoup. Est-ce que vous pouvez nous rappeler encore les dates?
Okay. On the 27th, we have the celebration of the anniversary of the ascension of Abdul Baha. And this 27th, it would be a national celebration, big celebrations everywhere in Baha'i communities. But from the beginning of this month of November, lots of things have been going on. And all of this was in memory of this great event, that the height of it is on the 27th. I should also share that there are some friends who left Cameroon to celebrate at the Baha'i World Center in Haifa, Israel. And they would be coming back after the celebrations at the national level.
Okay.
And so we'll be very happy to hear from them. We are seeing their pictures. We are talking with them on WhatsApp and seeing how it is going on there. So it's really wonderful.
So the centenary begins from the 25th to the 27th?
Okay, yes. Actually, there are two big events. On the 25th, we have the ascension of Abdul-Baha. And then on the 25th, sorry, we have the Day of the Covenant. And then on the 27th, we have the ascension of Abdul-Baha. Yes. And this month of November, as I said, was really a month full of various events, you know, in the Baha'i community.
Okay,
yeah.
thank you very much, Mr. Isaac Lee, to have come to Prana today.
Thank you.
Okay,
we are
thank
grateful.
you. Thank you to you, Madame Christine Chamini. C'est un plaisir de vous avoir sur ce plateau de Prana.
Plaisir est partagé. Merci beaucoup.
Ok, merci à vous et nous prenons rendez-vous pour demain, Dieu le veut.